If the core messages of Gnosticism and Catharism are true, and the Egyptian and Tibetan books of the dead are correct, then we are all living within a reincarnation soul trap matrix from which very few escape. If the reports from many near-death experiencers can be trusted, then we are being expertly coerced, manipulated, and sometimes forced against our will to come back here after death. And if Robert Monroe was right, then Earth is a giant loosh farm, with human suffering and other negative emotions being the main crop harvested. This bleak outlook, painted by these various sources, is also echoed in many world religions. For example, the iconic image of the Bhava Chakra, or Wheel of Life, in Buddhism, depicts all of human life happening within the jowls and grips of Yama, the Lord of Death. 4 concentric circles show how we are trapped within a reincarnation cycle. The pig, rooster, and snake in the inner circle represent the 3 poisons: ignorance, attachment, and aversion. These 3 poisons give rise to positive and negative actions, which result in the light and dark karmic manifestations shown in the 2nd circle. Karma then gives rise to the 6 realms of suffering depicted in the 3rd circle. And finally, the 4th circle symbolizes the 12 links of dependent origination, showing how the poisons, karma, and suffering all cause inevitable reincarnation. Importantly, also shown in the picture is the moon, which represents liberation from the reincarnation cycle, and Buddha pointing to the moon, which indicates that our liberation is possible. The Hindu religion also maintains that we are trapped within a reincarnation cycle created by the god Brahma. The Vedas describe this world, our bodies, and all of physical creation as Maya, meaning a trick or an illusion created by Brahma. Within each of us exists an Atman, or soul essence, which discards and acquires new bodies the same way we throw away old and buy new clothes. In this view, the physical world perceived by the senses is actually the greatest obstacle separating us from true reality, and the goal of human life is to achieve moksha, or kavalya, meaning emancipation or liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Even the 3 Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are sending a similar, albeit more cryptic version of this message. They don't feature reincarnation or claim physical reality to be illusory, but do view Earth as a fallen realm, and not the kind of paradise one would truly wish to inhabit. Humans are viewed as inherently sinful beings, and Earth serves as a kind of mediocre purgatory for our souls, not nearly as good as heaven, and not nearly as bad as hell. Depending on our beliefs and/or works during this life, we are judged, and if positively so, our souls ascend to a heavenly afterlife, never to return here again. One commonality found in all of these religions is the notion that we are imperfect souls trapped in an imperfect realm, but with the ability to escape and transcend to something somewhere better. Earth is never presented as our true home or the best place to be, but rather as a temporary prison or school where we must first purge our sins or karma. Arthur Schopenhauer stated in On the Suffering of the World, "If you want a safe compass to guide you through life, and to banish all doubt as to the right way of looking at it, you cannot do better than accustom yourself to regard this world as a penitentiary, a sort of penal colony." I refer not to my own philosophy alone, but to the wisdom of all ages, as expressed in Brahmanism and Buddhism, and in the sayings of Greek philosophers like Empedocles and Pythagoras, as also by Cicero in his remark that the wise men of old used to teach that we came into this world to pay the penalty of crime committed in another state of existence, a doctrine which formed part of the initiation into the mysteries. And Vanini, whom his contemporaries burned, finding that an easier task than to confute him, puts the same thing in a very forcible way. Man, he says, is so full of every kind of misery that, were it not repugnant to the Christian religion, I should venture to affirm that if evil spirits exist at all, they have posed in human form and are now atoning for their crimes. And true Christianity, using the word in its right sense, also regards our existence as the consequence of sin and error. So if this world truly is a penitentiary, a sort of penal colony, then how do we break out of this prison? If there is a better place to be, or a better state of existence to experience, how do we achieve it? If we wish to be free from suffering, free from all falsehoods and illusions, free from sin, karma, and repeated reincarnations, how can we truly be liberated? The majority of modern Christians would be satisfied to say it is as simple as believing wholeheartedly in the divinity of Jesus Christ. But as previously established, beliefs may be used as a weapon of manipulation against us in the afterlife realm. And this gamble, known as Pascal's wager, has potential downsides unforeseen by Pascal or most Christians. Likewise, most modern Buddhists and Hindus would answer that we should conduct our lives in a way that creates no new negative karma. But as previously established, this is deemed nearly impossible, and even the most diligent disciples are doomed to suffer thousands of deaths and reincarnations. Interestingly, if instead we look to the words of the Buddha himself in the Buddha Vachana, he states, "You may declare for yourself that I am done with hell, with the animal realm, and with the sphere of afflicted spirits, finished with the plane of misery, the bad destination, the lower world. I am a stream enterer, no longer subject to rebirth in the lower world, fixed in destiny, heading for enlightenment." In other words, he is saying what is really necessary for us to transcend this soul trap is true intention and conviction. It would seem the most important aspect of avoiding reincarnation is having the clear intention and solid conviction against it. It makes sense that karma, material desires, and attachments would play a part in luring us back into body. But if our intention never to return is strong enough, it should outweigh any material desires or attachments trying to bring us back. In addition to this, something else that would seem incredibly important is having full faith and complete confidence in our own innate authority. Almost every near-death experience involves some kind of angel, demon, god, alien, spirit guide, deceased relative, or other light being appearing and introducing itself as an afterlife authority figure. Why should we believe or trust in the imposed authority taken and information given by these beings? If and when I find myself in a mysterious new afterlife realm, I would much rather travel to and fro, learning things on my own, than be led around and lectured by an appointed tour guide. I would rather trust my own instincts and intuition, remaining skeptical and suspicious of new people and places. Blindly believing strangers isn't advised in this life, and isn't something that sounds advantageous in the afterlife. Many near-death experiences also feature a life review and judgment scene presided over by these beings, as explained in the Egyptian and Tibetan books of the dead. Most people report just passively watching the entire life review and accepting whatever judgments were made about them. But why should we accept the judgments of anyone outside ourselves? Why should we even agree to watching a life review with these judgmental beings? Why not instead opt for polite non-compliance? If a being wants to be your afterlife tour guide, just respectfully decline the offer. If the being starts giving you unsolicited information about the afterlife realm, just nod, smile, and remain skeptical. If they want to watch your life review with you, again, politely decline and see what happens. If these beings are as benevolent as they attempt to appear, your respectful refusal of their requests shouldn't be a problem. The whole trick seems predicated on the fact that these entities need our consent to send us back into body. They can shapeshift and appear as our most influential authority figures, lie about anything they need to persuade and manipulate us, watch playbacks of our entire lives, choosing key moments to guilt and shame us for, then encourage us to reincarnate to right the wrongs we supposedly committed in this life. But if they could simply force us to reincarnate, why would they bother with all the pretense? It seems the ultimate choice is ours alone. They can attempt to guilt trip or shame us into coming back. They can try to entice or bribe us with better incarnations. But if our intention is set and our conviction strong enough, what are they going to do about it? Decide that you are never reincarnating regardless of what anyone says. Make the decision that no outside entity has the right to judge you. Reject their offers of life review. Refuse their demands and directives. Remain skeptical of their claims. Maintain your sovereignty and deny their imposed authority. Set your intent on ultimate truth and let everything false fall away. Howdy Mikowski wrote, "One of the things many NDEs present is that the beings we encounter claim to have some sort of an authority over us, and that one should be in both fear and awe of them. This is likely the main reason one is programmed since birth to respect authority and to never question it. You don't discuss or deal with these entities. You must be rooted in your divine spark. You go past them by dissolving them, and as such, seeing that everything they are and present are manipulated lies, that they have no authority over anything that comes from outside the matrix. Those who allow such judgment to take place are abdicating their own authority. We have to drop the idea that anyone or anything is above us or has the authority to judge us. Only the divine spark within can do that, and the divine spark never judges." And Isabella Green wrote, "Know that you have a different choice. Decide on your choice while still alive. Make a strong agreement with yourself. Stand your ground. No one yields any power over your decisions for yourself. No matter how mighty that authority might seem to you, you do not need any authority to give you permission. This is very important for you to know. Own your power to decide and execute your choices for yourself in all areas of your experience, and you will be sovereign and free."